I'm calling you out. See, what you see here are proud, patriotic Americans, not racists. You know, as far as I'm concerned, the real racists are in MSNBC. Are in all the newsrooms that continue to put racism on the front pages. You see, you know, mainstream media, you may learn something if you stop covering what color we are and start covering the stuff that we're talking about. What's up, St. Louis? It is a pleasure to be back in St. Louis, and I just want to thank all of you for supporting my book, Political Emancipation, but particularly I want to thank Dana. You know, you guys have a gem in her. Nobody fights for freedom more than Dana, and Dana, I appreciate everything you've done for me. Now, I personally enjoy exposing all the lies of liberalism on her show every single Wednesday. Anybody ever check that out? It's on 97.1 FM if you're not sure. Now, it occurs to me that there's a group of so-called civil rights leaders and civil rights groups that are starting websites, and they're probably out here taping us looking for racism. So for all of those that don't know what racism is, by their definition, racism is anything that opposes their present point of view. Now they claim to love black people. Well, I got a message, especially for them. Has anybody checked the statistics in the black community lately? 9 out of 10 of every black person murdered was killed by a black person. The unemployment in the black community is over 16%. In the major cities like Detroit and Indianapolis, only 1 out of every 4 black males graduate from high school. So, in other words, what you people need to do is put those cameras down and get out in the community and do some real work. Because the last time I checked, we got more important issues than trying to silence Fox News. And you know what? You're not fooling anybody. We know who you are. We know what you're doing. You're nothing but front groups for the Democratic Party. And if you haven't read Saul Alinsky's book like I have, you'll learn that Democrats, liberals, they don't love black people. They only love black people's votes. Tell you what, and you'll learn from Alinsky as I have, to take it a step further, liberals only want to control all of us. But we will not be controlled. Now, our benevolent president said a few months back that if you want to repeal Obamacare, then bring it on. What, Mr. President? We're going to bring it. We're going to keep on going to Tea Party rallies. We're going to keep on going to D.C. I was in India at 828 a couple weeks ago. Was anybody else there with me? We're going to keep on calling talk radio. Keep on blogging. And we're going to keep on standing up to liberalism. The bottom line is this. We are going to defend our freedom at all costs. Now, you may not realize this, but we are in the midst of another American Revolution. God has blessed our nation, and it's time we start giving him credit. Now, when our founders conceived the idea of this country, they knew that even the mere existence of a free nation would always invite enemies, abroad as well as at home. And so, history has taught us that a complacent nation becomes an extinct nation. And the price of freedom, I don't know about you all, but I served in the military. And one thing I learned in the Army was the price of freedom is eternal. Now we here at the Tea Party, we realize how important that is. And that's why this movement is so important. Because it's regular Americans like me that realize that the very existence of our nation is at stake. Our freedom, our sovereignty, our borders, our way of life is under attack daily. Not just by terrorists, but by many of our elected officials as well. But fear not, America. The Tea Party is here. Retirees, workers, executives, students, stay-at-home moms, we all realize that our nation is at stake, and we have answered the call. Now with the midterms coming in only 2 months, we owe it to our children, we owe it to our founders to stand up and stop liberalism in its tracks. Because, I'm a black man who enjoys reading, and liberals, they pick on me for doing that, imagine that. They call me a sellout because I like to go and check out instead of the nightclub, but that's a different story. But liberalism is the gateway to oppression, and it is the enemy of freedom. So, I implore you to do as our founders did to the oppressive British crown. They rose up. They had to rise up. So I'm asking you today, I'm pleading to you, my fellow Americans and patriots, we have to rise up